Welcome to the Faraday electric bike. This is probably one of the most beautiful and lightest bikes I've had the opportunity to ride, and it's just a joy to behold. Unlike some other electric bikes out there, they're actually using a front hub motor that you can see right there, and the batteries in this thing, they're actually inside these two top tubes. So that's how they get this amazing aesthetic. The controller is right back here. Here's the on-off switch, and they've got some LED lights built in. Here's the charging slot. So the whole of what makes this electric bike is all right here. You barely notice it. Here's the throttle up here. It's got 3 settings. So there's off, and this is sort of your regular power assist, and then there's high power assist. So those are the 3 modes, and as you're pedaling, the way it works is there's a pedal sensor right in the bottom bracket. So as you're pedaling along, it senses that work that you're doing, and it kicks in to support you. These 2 hubs, this rear hub right here, it kind of balances out that front hub. The front one's a hub motor, 250 watt, and the rear is an 8-speed hub gear. So actually when you're pedaling, you just switch gears up here with the trigger shifter, changes the gear back here silently, and you're on your way. So let's take it out for a spin. So I'm right near Faradays Headquarters, which are downtown Palo Alto. I just got to speak with the founder, Adam Vollmer. Had a great time just talking about this bike, talking about how they got it started on Kickstarter, and really, you know, what's trying to be achieved with this model. Anyone who's seen other electric bikes out there, there we go, crossing the street, there we go, yeah. Anyone who is familiar with other electric bikes knows that, you know, they tend to be really heavy, and they're also, you know, unsightly might be the right word. Now there are some bikes that are beautiful looking, but you know, that doesn't change the fact that they're so heavy. There are very few electric bikes that you just like very easily lift it up with one hand, no problem. Carry this thing upstairs, whoa, and it's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna have to be dragging it. It's also fairly evenly distributed. I'm lifting from the front. Okay, so the front dips down a little bit. There we go. That's about, if you lift from here, kind of right behind the bag, which I guess can kind of slide back and forth. If you lift from this area, the bike is pretty, the weight's evenly distributed, which is really nice as you're riding. You're not going to be popping a wheelie or anything, and of course that really helps when you're carrying the bike, you know, up steps or trying to put it in a bike rack. That's the other great thing. I mean, if you've got one of those sort of like hook bike racks for the back of your car that kind of reaches out like this and sort of like holds the bike, those will work with this, which is nice, very nice. And the tire size is going to fit most racks, so it'll be easy. Most people mistake this for a regular bike, in fact. When I first saw this design, I was thinking I'd be really like leaned over like a race bike or something, just because the handlebars and the seat both look high. But the way they're set up, that's actually not the case. I'm actually pretty upright. I don't know if you can see this. I'm about 5'9", and this is the medium-sized frame that I'm riding here. And I really don't have to lean too far forward because these handlebars, as you can see, they kind of come up and back. So it's a very comfortable riding position. I think they chose pretty well with this design. It's taken me a moment, but I found some water, so we're gonna do a fender test here. Let's see what happens. Here we go. I hope you could see that. My pants are completely dry, so these fenders, which are pretty wide here. As you can see, they completely block the tire. They're definitely effective. Definitely effective. Some of the other features I really like about the bike are this chain guard right here. I mean, the attention to detail and sort of the artistic elements of this are just awesome. You can see the chain kind of slipping into gear right there. That's just really cool. That's awesome. And of course it's functional, so it functions as sort of a bash guard on the bottom. And since this is actually hub gear back here, the chain is pretty tight and it's not going to fall off, which happens quite a bit on electric bikes when you're going over bumps and things. Of course, they've got the nice leather slap guard right here, which is beautiful. The fenders that we were talking about, and they do a pretty good job. You know, they completely cover the width of the tire there. And on the front, when I went through the puddle there's plenty of blockage there, and they're close enough that I wasn't getting my pants wet. They've also got the spring up here, and that's to help if you're carrying a big load on this front rack. Super easy to just do that. Take it off. There we go. Now, one of the interesting things is, as you turn the bike, the rack doesn't turn. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but in many ways, this is a good thing. It kind of stabilizes that front load. It keeps the overall frame design lighter and stiffer, which is awesome, because when you're riding this bike, you can actually ride. It feels like the energy you're putting into the bike gets transferred to the road. Let's see, there we go. I also really like the trigger shifters here. This bike's just a ton of fun. I'm actually riding it right now with no electric assist, and it's no problem. Brakes work well, you got the disc brakes, frame's pretty light, and when you do want to use that electric assist, it's awesome. It speeds you right up, helps you up those hills. Let's take off here. This is still a prototype that I'm riding, but I've got to say it feels really good, and I'm excited for a new kind of bike. One that's stylish, it's lightweight like me, it's easy to pedal, but it's solid. For more updates, images, and details on the Faraday Porter, visit ElectricBikeReview.com. Thanks.